So I know we are running a bit out of time, but I think this next session is really important because you guys all know Novo. They are a Danish company, and Vikrant is the MD here in India, and they're doing some real good work, some pioneering work, and that's why I really wanted to include this session. So, we spoke about NCD earlier today. You heard the minister speaking, we heard the member of parliament speaking, we heard the doctor speaking. What, according to you, Vikrant, are the main issues that are facing India today? I want to first hear the challenges and then to the solutions.
I think when I really look at it, the challenge is economic prosperity. And along with the economic prosperity, we have a directly proportional challenge, which comes of obesity, diabetes, and associated many of the disorders which we have actually seen. I always say that as we are prospering, everything is against the metabolic disorder. We are sitting here for last 1 hour, and it has been said that it is almost equivalent to smoking. One has to get up. We have calorie surplus, and we have less and less physical activities. I do not know the Indian data, but a normal American takes 3,500 calories. I'm very sure that in India also, most of us actually end up taking calories. We are inching towards lunch. Some of the people are feeling hunger because of physiological need, which is basically calorie deficit. Some will have a hedonic pleasure because the smell of the food will come. At least I went during the tea time because of the smell of the biscuits. And some will have an executive decision because 1 o'clock, but the time is written for the lunch 1:40, and they will be hungry for 40 minutes. In the sum total, people will take more calories. Despite being conscious, you can see the candies on the table, and when people will be eating, they all will be conscious, and including me. Still, most of us will end up eating more. Dr. Pankaj has just given a lot of data, and they are disturbing, at least for an emerging economy like India. 100 million diabetes, 250 million obese, 350 overweight, central obesity. Even I look normal, but I can tell you we are blessed with quite a lot of mind, but when it comes to our body, at least we call it thin fat Indian. So put a person who is 67 kg Caucasian in front of me, you will find that I will have more fat, and specifically abdominal fat. And that's the mother of all the diseases. I would say we just discussed the interplay of many of the diseases, but I would say that 230 problems had to do, whether it is depression, anxiety, respiratory disorder, heart, you call it, you can see diabetes, you call it arthritis. These are the kind of problems which actually come. Of course, we just learned about the CPM interplay. So I would say this is a big problem.
And this is like counter question. You said it's a big problem. So I studied in the United States, and Dr. James and Dr. Budd will be the first to tell you that when I was studying there, it was a very obese nation, right? There were a lot of people who were on the fatter side. Hamburger was like a staple diet. But I read a recent report that obesity in the United States is on the decline, right? So what is your solution for a country like India?
I would say that everybody tried to bend the curve of obesity. It was so simple. The doctors here were there, and they were very, very fit. And a lot of doctors understand what is the benefit of being physically fit, eating right. But if it was so simple, we would not have obesity to the tune of 40%. We would not have kids. Dr. Khargawat talked about 5% obese and 15% overweight. It's the most difficult thing to follow exercise every day, the discipline of that exercise, and eating right. Everything goes against the moment you have an hunger. But on the other side, coming to the point, in US, where the obesity was increasing at an alarming pace, we saw first time last year with a Gallup survey, obesity reducing from 40% to 37%. And there is only one thing which has helped. The only thing which has helped is GLP-1. I can tell you. Close to 33 million years, 13, 14, 15 million people taking. I think by reducing that, 7 million people are less obese in the US. When you get diet and exercise, and along with that, when you get medication, then you find there is this synergy of reducing them. But just depending on diet and exercise can also be not sufficient.
The WHO kind of introduced that, right, in certain countries. So we had government officials here. We had the Minister of State for Health. We also had a member of Parliament. If you were to advise them on based on what WHO has done, if you were to advise them to do something in India similar, what would you tell them?
I think the minister in the morning talked about quality, access, and affordability, right? And if I have to really see the future, I would like that first, if it can be preventive, right? Obesity can be preventive. But if it cannot be prevented, at least one has to treat it, whether it is a disorder, whether it is a condition or a disease. I think we need to tackle this burden. And for that, I can only see that today, at least currently, we have got tools which are GLP-1, which has been announced. So at least from the corporate side, we have taken a step, and it looks like a little bit of commercial, but it is not. I'm really passionate about obesity. At least if in India, in my lifetime, we can bend the curve. We have reduced the price by 37% just to make it accessible to more number of patients. And you have seen that the acceptability is actually increasing. Second is, I've never seen, at least in the NCD space, a medicine like GLP-1 coming so fast under the essential drug list. So I have got, of course, the request, and I think so, you all will see also corporate hospitals are there, government officials are there, that if more and more obesity treatment clinic or metabolic disorder clinics can be opened up, I think that probably can help in terms of bending the curve, like the way it has happened in the US. Why we cannot do it in India?
Yeah, a follow-up question, because you talked about accessibility and going to rural areas. But, I did, again, I'm quoting the minister and the member of parliament who were talking about what this government has achieved by going to rural areas. As a company, as the MD of a company of a predominant, like a very dominant company in the pharma space, how would you address this issue of?
I can only say that alone we can never do it. I mean, we are a company with an innovation, 100 years. We are a powerhouse of protein chemistry. We got insulin, and then during the journey of the insulin, we got this GLP-1 for obesity treatment and also for diabetes. I would repeat what Minister said. We need a Jan Andolan. Jan Andolan is something, sabka saath. Because I think it is right from the house where mother has to say, the teacher has to be aware that you have a study report, but you have a health report also, which is very fulfilling. We need to have a community. We need to have government. We need to have the policy makers here. We need to have a hospitals who see obesity as a disorder. At least 1 year back, I never saw a prescription which was just obese. Weight was just a number to be written. We would like that obesity as a condition should be tackled. And you will see that magic when you have a country like that, you will find that the metabolic disorders will actually come down. We know that with 5% weight reduction, the blood sugar comes down, the hypertension comes down. At 10 to 15% something happens. Weight reduction should be part and parcel. And for that, everybody is required. Even advocacy from the media house like yours, what you are right now doing, is extremely important. So I'm very buoyant about this change in India. which is not only talking about prosperity, which is also talking about what you call it fit India. And that fit India, we need to realize it together.
Like Vikrant spoke about, he touched about insulin. I think you should guys go to the website and see what they've done for insulin in India and about the transportation. It's some fantastic work. I just want to end, Vikrant, because of the paucity of time. And listen, you guys should catch up with them to see some of the groundbreaking work that they are doing. Everyone's talking about Ozempic. We know it's coming out. Can you just explain to them about Ozempic and when it's going to come out?
Yeah, the Ozempic has become a consumer word. On the other side, it is a medicine, and it should be prescribed only by the doctors. But it has so happened that benefits were so much outweighing in terms of the population that it became the most searched Google word. We could never ever imagine about it. And because of that, the demand of Ozempic became very, very high. But I'm very happy that in India it has got a regulatory approval, and very recent, or I can only say as soon as possible, it should be there on the Indian soil, like many of our medications which are there.